harassed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Muroff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And the Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
going down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not a second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League Round 5, Season 2, live from Twin Ring Motegi. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by one Mr. Alex Goldschmidt here this evening with me as well. We're going to have a look at the championship standings as they currently stand here this evening. Now, this was based off a Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, of course, where it was Lee Aberdeen who took the victory with Hakim Raheen in second and Mackenzie Roon rounding out the top three. So this is how they look. After that one, it is Jakub Oleszewski out in front on 147 points with Luca Varani on 143. Antonio Jimenez on 129, and last season's champion Brent Ruiz is there on 120. Lee Aberdeen up 6 places into 117 points in fifth with Evan Way on 116. Tied with Andy Flint there as well. Tommy Moray on 114 with Simon Frelich on 113. Pedro Suarez rounds out the top 10 on 105 with Will McIntyre on 104. In 12th is Dennis Cornu on 103 with Simon Fessy in 13th on 101. Marcius Putnieks on 89 with Raheem Hakim also on 89 points. Going on from that one, it's Mackenzie Roon in 16th on 79 with Matthew Gracie on 78 with Marcello Kessler on 76, Chris Trott on 72 and Irvin Sumikins on 71. Rounding out the top 30, Nicholas Westman is in 21st with Lucas Marek in 22nd, then Kenzie Newhoff, a previous champion, on 23, then Giovanni Salito in 24th on 56, Edward Amos in 26th, Joel Aguilera on 27 with Zoltan Zamota in 28th and Zer Blanco 29th with Maricot Loves rounding out the top 30. In the rookie standings, we've got Tommy Moray out in front on 169, running away with it over Conrad Bradbury on 85 with Mikhail Lajcek in third on 81. In the 2.5K standings, Chris Trott is out in front on 123 with Giovanni Salito in 120, so that's really close, and Oscar Artinanu on 119. So 4 points separate the top of the 2.5K championship. In the team standings at the moment, it's the GPFun 67 with Luca Varani and Giovanni Salito out in front on 202. Then XPD Racing with Antonio Jimenez and Joel Aguilera on 185, and XPD Racing 2 with Oscar Artinanu and Ginas Carvalho on 79 points. We've got enough time just to bring in Alex into the booth. Alex, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, good to be back alongside you since the madness at Road America a couple of weeks back, James. But as you can see, folks, it's wetter than high tide off of Mersey Island at the moment here at Twin Ring Motegi. It is absolutely saturated, and we've seen more drivers go spinning around more times than Kylie Minogue this evening already.
We have, unfortunately, yes. It's more Noah's Ark than it is the racing currently. I can tell you that much. You better get it out and get him to build an ark for you, because that is what we've got as we're just waiting for Tony Jimenez to come over the line on to finish off his quali before we can bring you up the grid. Welcome in, Alex Sevillano. Let's Go Racing Forces. Dara there as well. Just a bit quick of information on this one. A few of these guys race Super Formula Lights here on Friday night in the officials iRacing Super Formula Lights Championship. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for that. And JCO Bix. Hey, guys, championship leader absent today, so good luck to commentators and drivers. Well, thank you very much for that little bit of information as well. Marcius Putnieks is still going round the circuit currently. Twin Ring. It's an interesting track, isn't it, really?
It is. It's something of a bit of a challenge. There's a lot of elevation changes, a lot of heavy braking zones, but also very tight technical sections. I mean, you know, you've got that long run out of that right-hand hairpin at turn 10 before you've got the triple left at 12. Well, you've got that sort of like double left that turns into a 90 right between turns 12 to 14, and that's where we can see a real pinch point on the circuit. But it is a circuit that has its own charm, its own allure, but in these wet weather conditions, as I said earlier, there's been plenty of drivers that have been compromised trying to put down they've used a bit too many beans on the loud pedal, as you like to say, on a regular basis whenever it happens. Like the back end, the back end swaps with the front.
Yes.
So it's all.
It's going to be...
I'm expecting nothing but madness.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. We did lose you for a bit in the middle, but you seem to come back straight away. But let's bring you up the grid. Luca Varani will lead us away with Raheen Hakim in second. Simon Frelick in third, with Lee Aberdeen in fourth. That is a strong front four. Pedro Suarez in fifth, Will McIntyre Jones in sixth, Zoltan Zamota in seventh, and Brent Ruiz in eighth. Patrick Pieper in ninth, and Mackenzie Roon down in 10th place. Beyond that, we've got Tony Jimenez and Andy Flint rounding out the top 12, with Alexis de Klerk in 13th, Joel Aguilera in 14th, Dennis Cornu 15th, Kenzie Newhoff down in 16th, with Chris Trott in 17th, Irvin Tumakins in 18th, Marcis Pitnex in 19th, with John McKenzie rounding out your top 20. Andre Waskowski in 21st, with Koji Ito in 22nd, Marcello Kessler in 23rd, and Jeans Carnival in 24th place. Stuart Milne in 25th, with Eddie Amos in 26th, no Don Lee in 27th, Tommy Morey 28th, Adam Townsworth in 29th, and Leonard Cherry down in 30th, Oscar Artinanu in 31st, Richard Vane in 32nd, Maximilian Gerbart 33rd, Dorian Orugio in 34th, Jesper Sandström 35th, and Evan Way down in 36th place. Evan Way at the back end of the grid. We'll see what he's going to be able to do and whether or not he's going to be able to come through the field if he even takes to the start. But it is going to be led by one Mr. Luca Varani on the pace in the championship. Definitely on the pace in here today.
Yeah, there's no active overtakes allowed until after turn 4, the left-hander, which is the magenta zone as the drivers have been briefed. So, just a shade under 135 kilometres. But we're just waiting for Koji Ito in the 146. But the lights are coming on, James.
And away we go. Luca Varani there sitting in front. Simon Frelick currently in second. Raheen Hakim will be in third. Then we've got Lee Aberdeen, Pedro Suarez, Will McIntyre Jones, and Zoltan Zamota as these guys go off through turn 1 here before they can go and do any active overtakes in turn 3. It's important to get out in front. You're going to be fishing for clean air otherwise, because these guys are not going to see a hell of a lot when it comes to this race. And I mean that in the nicest possible form here, because this rain, this spray is going to cause a problem. And at the moment, it's not caused a problem for any of these drivers. They've made it through cleanly as they're on the run now through turn 5.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with the spray coming up, the rooster tails coming up from the back axles, James. That's going to be quite crucial in how you get around with it. We're on board with Hydra Racing Forces Pedro Suarez, who's currently fifth behind Lee Aberdeen. And look, you can see the spray kicked up from Aberdeen as they go through into turns 7 and 8. And, Frelick has just gone off circuit. Yeah,
Simon Frelick has just taken a bit of a diver. He's not the only one, so is Luca Varani. That's the lead. Simon Frelick and Luca Varani have just gone, and unfortunately, both of them going out. Varani getting loose on the rain, and Simon Frelick was there as he come back on. And unfortunately for Luca Varani, he is, done damage to himself here, Alex, and has caused himself a bit of a problem early on. If you're ever going to throw away a lead, you might as well do it like that.
Yeah, someone else is dropping down the order as well. They were on the far left-hand side of the circuit coming out of turn 10 and in the run down to the 90 right here at 11, but Rehan Hakim in the number 12 leading by nearly 7/10 of a second. That's going to be Andy Flint, isn't it, in the number 13 car. So let's have a look at what happens here. This is through, I think it's
just gone
9.
off.
He's just lost it.
Yeah, the back end's it's one of them slow, agonising spins that you can see coming but you cannot do anything about it. And Will McIntyre Jones there coming down into turn 1. He's got Pedro Suarez in front of him, and this rain is not going to let up. Brent Ruiz has just gone up the inside, trying to go up the inside of Zoltan Tomota. You can see, well, you can't actually see, but they are there on the racetrack as these guys are running side by side.
Kenzie Newhoff's off of turn 1. Turn 2, so he went backwards.
Cavallo's off as well, and unfortunately for him, we've got these gaps already starting appearing. I'm not surprised we have got the gaps though, considering the fact that these guys have got to find that clean air. They've got to find vision. The problem is when you pull off the racing line, you end up going into the puddles, which then ends up causing more of a problem for you. So it's going to be a difficult one here for these drivers. What's going to be the best route? How are they going to contend with it? And what's going to happen? Because at the moment there's a lot happening and you cannot see a lot. We're on the roll bar. We're trying to give yourselves a better picture from the cockpit of Patrick Pieper, who's got Get Well Mum. That's Mum Ingrid, who broke her leg about a month ago, if I'm not mistaken now as well. So I hope Ingrid is still recovering well. And Patrick Pieper, your son, doing a great job sitting in the top 10 at the moment. Gaps appearing up front. Will McIntyre Jones, Pedro Suarez has unfortunately taken what looks like a trip off the side of the circuit. He has, Alex. It's all going off here, mate, and we're only on lap 2 of 28.
Well, I think also one of the best strategies I'm seeing so far is by the XPD crew. Jimenez and Aguilera both running 7th and 8th respectively. So Aguilera is just staying in the wheel tracks of where Jimenez is. So there will be a strategy that these two drivers will have, the two Spaniards. So yeah, it is just about if you've got someone in front of you, just stay in their wheel tracks and try not to overcompensate. Don't brake too hard. Don't press the loud pedal too quickly, because I mean we just saw a little bit of correction there from Joel Aguilera in 8th place. You've just got to really cross the T's and dot the I's. This is the kind of race where you don't want to lose that many points, and what you want to do is maximise your opportunity as much as possible. And then, well, Luca Varani at the moment is making some headway. He's trying to battle away with Marcello Kessler, who was the person with the most places gained in Road America. I think he made up, what was it? I think nearly 25 places in that race, which was absolutely ridiculous. And then we had dry conditions. So, yeah, it's just about how Frelick and Varani just sort of get through it, and there are some drivers 3 wide in the wet. That's never good. Going to be no, it never is good. And that was Kenzie Newhoff in the number 62.
There was contact.
Yeah, that was Tim Elkins, I think, went off. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Elkins went off there as well. We've got Dennis Cornu, he's battling away with Alexis de Klerk, and Pedro Suarez is tucked up right behind him, literally right behind him. He pulls out trying to find some vision, and again he's trying to sort it out as it comes around turn 9. He's going to try to cut back going up into 10. Suarez on the left. We've got Dennis on our right hand side. We're going to try that outside line. Is that outside line going to work for us? Is that where the grip is? It looks like it may have done, and it looks like it has done. Pedro Suarez, as they say, round the outside at turn 10, got the job done. He found the grip on the outside, Alex. Amazing move by him.
Yeah, he did a bit of an M&M around the outside of Cornu at turn 10. I mean, it's when the wet weather conditions come into play now, it is a case of just where is the optimal grip? Where do you feel confident with the car? Can you thread it around the outside, as that is Clerk and Piper battling away. Piper actually went off the circuit very, very quickly, coming through out of turns 12 and 13. So he's got de Klerk not too far behind him. He's trying to get some visibility of his own going through to T1 and 2.
Yeah, it's so important to try and find that visibility, and it's clearly one of the things these drivers have got to work on, and trying to do that in the rain. Andy Flint, however, has had another moment. It looks like exactly the same corner. This time, though, there was contact with the MRP. I'm wondering if that's Evan Way that there was. No, Evan Way is not running at the moment, so that's one of the MRP boys there with alongside Andy Flint, and unfortunately he goes off. Stuart Milner's had a moment to the point of where he's jumped back into the pit lane. So Stuart Milne's race is done and dusted, and I think this is what happened to Stuart. It looks like that corner, that run from turn 9, that's where most of it seems to be happening, where they seem to get on the power a little bit too early and just can't maintain that throttle control, and they end up spinning it round, because you can see the gap starting to appear in de Klerk here with Pieper as the closest battle on track, and they've got Suarez and Cornu trying to come up behind them as well.
Yeah, that's the thing about turn 9. It's a very deceptive left-hander, because you think, oh, well, I can open up the steering significantly. Not in the wet, you can't. And then you've also, as you rightly said, you know, you're going to be braking into that corner, or you might not even be braking. You might let the car lift and coast, because if you put the anchors on, again, if you snap them on too hard in the wet, it's going to spin the car around quicker than you can say the word jump. So de Klerk just keeping with Pieper at the moment, going through into turn 12 underneath the bridge. It's just about watching what you're doing and just do it by feel. You know, you're going to have that confidence in the car, and de Klerk has a great run out of turn number 14, and he's alongside Pieper, and I think he's going to get past him into turn 1. Looks like a good move there by de Klerk.
Yeah, got the inside line. He got a great exit coming out of the final corner, of course, through turn 13, and that's where he set that up. Through turn 1 he goes. They're still running alongside Patrick on the right. He's not giving it up here. That's covered the guys behind with no option bar to sit and follow, because they cannot find a way out of this. Through turn 3, through into 4. 4's another area that's been causing a few problems, and at the moment for de Klerk, he's on his bike once again. Do you know the weirdest thing is that with the people up front, they're the ones that have had the problem, but they're also the ones that have had all the vision. You know, Luca Varani had nobody in front of him. There was no spray coming at him, and yet makes that mistake, collects, unfortunately, Simon Frelick, and they both end up now but trying to battle their way through the pack. There's Varani. Frelick is up the road in front of him. We've got Chris Trott in this battle with Jesper Sandström, Marcius Putnieks and Kenzie Newhoff. So this little 4 train is not going to give it up easily, and the 86 of Putnieks, they're running on the inside of Newhoff, and Chris Trott is in front. Unfortunately for Chris, it looks like Newhoff's just going to take that position away coming into turn 9. Be a bit gentle. There you go. And away we go, and Putnieks also got through, but Pedro Suarez is another one who's under pressure from Pieper and Cornu.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just about managing the conditions to the best of your ability. You know, don't over-rig it. And what I mean by that is, don't go a bit too hammer and tongs. Good evening, Mr. Jones. Good to see that you joined us in the chat. We've had a brief chat about him before we went on air, but
that's it. That's him escaping from his resident conversation that's going on. That's all that is at the moment.
Exactly, but Hakeem's got a lead of nearly 3 seconds over Aberdeen. Paul McIntyre Jones with the Super Formula Lights equivalent of the Joseph and Mason Technicolor Dreamcoat 17 weeks ago in Atlanta. Up in P3, Zoltan Slamotor. Simon Frelick now has just put in the fastest lap of the race, and he's what, 0.3 of a second behind Cornu. So Frelick and Varani, okay, yes, that was very much a racing incident. What happened with Varani just going straight on, and Frelick was on the outside of him trying to get the pass done, and they both ended up in the kitty litter. It is part and parcel. It was a first lap race incident, and you know what? I think it's just a case of seeing how they. There's plenty of this race still to go here, James, and it's just about making sure you make the moves when you know that you can do them, and Frelick's going to do that on Cornu right now. That's going to be a nice move up the inside for the 74 Polish driver from Hydro Race Racing Forces, and that's him up into P12.
Yeah, it is, and Cornu's not giving up. However, he's sat up right behind him at the moment on that run through 6 down into 7, the left-hander, then coming to the right of turn 8. Frelick's clearly got pace. Varani's clearly got pace. They wouldn't have qualified where they were. They were up the front as well. They were literally 1-2 at that moment, and then unfortunately just Varani went wide into the kitty litter, brought the car back. Oh, Patrick Pieper, just change your pants, dear sir, because he's just had a big old brown pants snap on that one, Alex, as well. He managed to hold on to it as he's coming down now through turn 10 onto 11, but he's got Simon Frelick even closer.
He might be able to hide that Code Brown moment with the main part of the monocoque on his livery at the minute, to be honest with you. But yeah, Frelick's just got pace for absolute days, and he's already pulling out of the the toe, but it's just that Frelic's just making it nice and clean. Again, another new faster lap by Rehan Hakim. Aljaz has been in the chat already saying that, already giving you the stats as always, so thank you Aljaz for that one. But Frelic, you know, out of turn 14, no problem at all. He's got the pace, and he's going to be through by the end of turn 2, up the inside. That's 11th position now. But Patrick's still keeping it around the outside. He's got the stones there as Patrick, but Frelic just goes, yep, watch this.
Yeah, he is. I tell you what, though, Patrick's not giving it up. That outside line through turn 1 into 2 seems to work, but Simon Frelic got the exit there. Luca Varani's coming back through as well. He's cleared Cornu. Cornu's coming, no, and however, he's bringing Jesper Sandstrom with him. He is Sandstrom making his way through the field. He's up 20 places at the moment, is Jesper. 20. Yes, you heard me correctly. Gentlemen,
Steady.
Give room, give room. Oh, Dennis did give Jesper room as well, but I don't think, to be honest with you, Alex, he had a whole lot of choice on that one.
No, he was put between a rock and a hard place on that one. Jesper actually set the fastest lap of anybody on that previous lap, 1 minute 54.006. So there is some track evolution coming to the drivers, even with the fact of being very, very significantly saturated, as Patrick Cooper battling away with Luca Varani. That's side by side. Oh, Jesper gets a little bit of tail happiness at the back end of his car. But they're going through into turn 10 now, and both of them decide to go around the outside, and that is peepered down to 14th head of Cornu. Newhoff, Putniks, Mairu, McKenzie and Kessler ran at the top 20, but Rehan Hakim just leading by a country mile, 4.5 seconds up the road. Yeah,
he's putting purple sectors on the board there as well, so thank you very much. Elias for telling us all the information. I did like it. Comes in every week. He's like a little pit lane roving reporter. We should employ him and have him down on there where we can nip to him and say, right, what's going on, dear sir? And he can fill us in on what's happening on this grid. He does a great job for us. Jesper Sandstrom now got Luca Varani. Varani coming back through the field. Of course, they're side by side in the background. That's Kenzie Newhoff getting the job done over Dennis Cornu as well. So Kenzie Newhoff making waves up through the field. He's up 1 position compared to where he was at the beginning. You can see the gainers on the left-hand side and the losers, Varani, Frelic and Suarez, unfortunately have lost 24 places between them. Varani's trying to make moves, but he's got Sandstrom, and Sandstrom is looking mighty quick here, Alex.
Scandinavians always seem to do very, very well in these wet weather conditions, and yeah, Sandstrom's got pace for days, but Varani just trying to hang on. You can see the back end was a little bit sketchy there on Varani's car, having dropped 11 places, but Sandstrom gunning for place number 23 gained, and with that close to ending lap number 8 very, very shortly. But yeah, Sandstrom just doing a really, really good job. He's, as I said, like with regards to what he did, what we saw with Marcelo Kessler back at Road America 2 weeks ago, insane amount of positions gained, and there's always going to be one that's going to look at the conditions, go, this is my kind of race. Also, when the Tempest Racing Service decided to hit iRacing, I bet that Jesper Sandstrom has been like going, oh right, what tracks could we be racing the wet at? And he probably thought, I'm going to give Motegi a spin and see how it goes. So he might have prepared for this quite well.
Yeah, Alias is in YouTube, says, happy to do that. Do hit me up, reach out to me in Discord, and we'll have a chat about it and see how we can make it work here as well, because that would be a great little thing.
He could be our resident iGPFun Ted Kravitz, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could, couldn't we? We can nip down to him and he can, you know, talk for a couple of minutes and fill us in on who's gone where, who's done what, and who's gone and lost it all. With, unfortunately, that was Luca Varani. Waskowski's had a moment. Dorian Araujo's had a moment as well. They're off the side of the circuit. So yeah, Maximilian Gerhardt is also off. Sandstrom's trying to go around the outside. Yeah, we know that outside line works through turn 1 and 2, but he was definitely trying to have the big old stones on him. Varani squeezes him. Sandstrom says, I don't care how much you squeeze me, dear sir, I'm still going through. And Sandstrom up 23 places. We're going to nip back up front because this is that battle of Zoltan Zamato Zamata and Brent Ruiz has come to light once again. There was a 1.1 second gap, but now it's come down to 3 tenths. And last season champion Brent Ruiz is chasing down that 4th place at the moment. Big old gaps up front though. There's 5 seconds between Hakim and Aberdeen, 5 seconds between Aberdeen and McIntyre Jones, and 5 seconds between Jones and Zamata. So equal spread up the front 3.
Yeah, very much the case. It was always going to be the way that this race was possibly going to pan out with these weather conditions, but there looks to be a little bit more visibility coming back to the drivers. But Rehan Hakim has got back marker traffic in front of him. I would hazard a guess that it's going to be Wyrzykowski and Gebhardt who are in front, and they're coming underneath the bridge through into turns 12 and 13, and he's left at 14 to go onto the start-finish straight. But Rehan has just been absolutely bossing it. He's 5.5 seconds up the road from Lee Aberdeen, and you could just see the amount of steering wheel correction as well, even from Rehan's onboard. It's just impressive that some people just absolutely love these conditions. And even though he's been, slightly compromised by those by the couple of back markers, he's just made it through really, really good, and just has kept his nose clean. Like I said, that was the biggest important thing about the first 2 laps. Keep your nose clean. Go and run your own race. And Rehan's doing exactly that.
He is, and he's doing it so well. Sandstrom, though, gone faster on a 1:53.032 at the moment. Jesper Sandstrom there, as Hakim does clear the other back marker. He's now got a free run. He's got a while to go before he hits the next one. I can tell you what, Jesper Sandstrom is now coming into the difficult part of the grid. This is where the quick guys are. Simon Frelick, Pedro Suarez, de Klerk's done amazing. Aguilera's done great. He's been following Tony Jimenez. We got Mackenzie Roon up the field. Zoltan Zamata, Brent Ruiz, the last season's champion, Will McIntyre Jones. He's now coming into the difficult part. How is he going to handle this? Well, I can tell you one man who is handling it rather well is Mackenzie Roon, as he's battling away with Zoltan Zamata here, and he's trying to get through on the run out of 8 down into 9 at the moment. Mackenzie Roon looking strong, but look at the 4 in the background. That starts off with de Klerk, Suarez, Frelick and Sandstrom, and Sandstrom has just gone and done it again through turn 9. He's just said, thank you very much, I'll have that way.
Yeah, and he's nearly got broadsided there by Simon Frelick up the inside through turn 10. Frelick's going to hang it around the outside here. Suarez just up ahead. Sandstrom, they clashed sidles ever so briefly, but they managed to keep out of that one. Good to see Kyo Thiago Marto, Team Jesper here. Jonathan Rafter saying Rehan looking as strong as usual, and we've got someone cheering on Tony Jimenez in 7th place. But Jesper Sandstrom, as you rightly said there, James, is really now having to deal with the quick guys, and he's been the one that's been gaining and gaining and gaining. He's gained 23 positions. I won't be at all surprised if he's at least 25 positions north of where he started when we hit the checkers.
Yeah, I would be shocked. No! Oh no, Jesper! Oh, Jesper, but no! One mistake. Do you know the worst thing is, Alex?
We're too overzealous on that one.
Yeah, we could see it coming. He had so much more pace going into that turn 1. He just had to wait. There was no way you were going to go 3 wide. He was hoping to follow Simon Frelick through, and unfortunately, that is the result. Jesper, you've got to do it all again, as Varani's just sent it on the inside of Pedro Suarez there. He gets through under the bridge. They get a break from the rain. Not for long. They're back in it again. And now it's Simon Frelick chasing down Alexis de Klerk there. Pedro Suarez. Oh, he's trying to come up the inside. Oh no!
It was only going to be I think, as I normally like to say, there's either an air of desperation or a sense of urgency. Those 2 last moves that we've seen from Suarez and Sandstrom both smelt of high desperation to me, because you can look that Luca's trying to cover him off. Pedro looks up the inside, thinks there's room. Luca turns in. Bang, there you go. Round goes Suarez.
Oh, so upsetting, the fact that this battle has just gone and resumed itself in that way. Sandstrom was coming through the field like a banshee, and it's Luca Verani was obviously on the recovery from where we was last time, leading the race, spins out going into turn 3. Him and Frelick make contact as Verani comes back onto the track. Completely a racing incident all day. And then it's just ended in that way where Sandstrom is a rocket. He's just made a mistake. Suarez was trying to fight with Verani. He made the mistake. And unfortunately now, both men are back down the order again. Sandstrom down in 13th place. Pedro Suarez down in 18th. So now we're looking at Declare, Verani and Simon Frelick trying to go 3 wide, nearly almost into turn 3. And, well, there we go. It manages to work itself out this time.
Yeah, a good note from Ayaz about Rehan, who joined actually Montau VAR for the Spanish F4 season. He's actually going to make do his first race in Madrid on the 10th of May for Spanish F4. So this is going to be plenty of good experience for Rehan when it comes to wet weather conditions. And of course, VAR Van Amersfoort Racing, a crack Dutch squad. And yeah, one of the drivers from this championship that are going to be racing IRL. But this is going to be a good test for him in the meantime.
Definitely will be. And good luck to Rehan there as well. Absolutely amazing job if you can get that one. Simon Frelick now with Joel Aguilera. Simon seems to be, him and Luca Verani have seemed to come through the field, but they've done it with due care and attention. I think that's the thing, haven't they? They haven't put themselves in silly little places. Obviously, you know, Verani was caught up there a little bit with Suarez, but he's just almost followed Simon through. You can see in the background, Nuoff is just, nearly round the outside. Here he's going to have the inside left-hander for turn 12. Kenzie Nuoff does go through, but these two have done a great job working their way through, haven't they? They've picked them off one by one, and they've almost done it together. Verani's been with Frelick on every single overtake he's made.
I think it just shows the mutual respect between the pair, but then Verani just decides to throw that underneath the bus, completely through turns 1 and 2. Frelick on the outside. Verani's just nosing ahead. They've got Aguilera in front of them. And Simon Frelick. Oh, don't try and do it there, sunshine. My goodness, through 3. And Lucas still holds on and keeps the place through 4 by pinning it round the outside.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a rerun of the Pedro Suarez incident for a brief moment. I really did. Verani now, he's trying to get on his bike. Aguilera gives him room for days. He literally opens up. And Verani then gets it wrong. He slides, unfortunately, as well. Coming out of 5, and now he's back behind Frelick. Frelick's now going to go at Aguilera. I believe that is a back marker in front of us at this moment in time. That's Maximilian Gerhardt. How is Gerhardt going to deal with the fact? There you go. Good job, lad. I'm proud of you, Maximilian, as he just moves over and allows these guys to go through there. He's teammates with Kessler.
Aguilera gave Frelick a squeeze then, and Verani's decided to go high, wide and handsome on the run down to turn 10. Careful, lads, this could get a bit messy. And Newhoff has come into this all of a sudden.
Yeah, Newhoff's trying to come through. Round turn 10 they go. Down the straightaway now. Is Verani going to tuck in? That's probably one of the only times we've seen him tuck in behind to try and get that drive to stay in front of Newhoff. You can see in the background Leclerc and Sandstrom. Oh my dearie me, he's back. He is back. He's like the Terminator. Arnie Schwarzenegger there in Jesper Sandstrom. I am back as he's joining onto the back once more.
Oh, no, that's Frelick. No, that was Newhoff. Newhoff went wide coming out of turn number 13. Was backwards across the road. So let's have a look. Underneath the bridge.
You were right the first time.
Oh, it's Frelick that did go round. Oh my goodness me. Simon Frelick, you are so lucky to hold on to that.
Yeah. But look, he's back. The Scandinavian.
Sandstrom's back in his one place away from getting in the top 10.
Sandstrom's back at it again. He's come through. Don't make the mistake. The men that have been on the charge. Simon Frelick made the mistake. Jesper Sandstrom made a mistake. Luca Verani coming back through. Is it going to be Verani? Are we going to get a full tilt of these drivers who have come back through the field and then gone and made a mistake? Let's hope we don't. And I'm sorry, Luca, if you watch it back, and it does actually happen to you. And I apologise to you now. But everybody that's come back through the field, Alex, have all made mistakes. Frelick, Sandstrom, and the only one that hasn't yet is Luca Varani.
Yeah, well, Sandstrom, that is place 25 gained from 30 from the back of the grid, and he's in the top 10, and we're nearly halfway through this 28-lap race. This has been a race into the unknown for everybody. As soon as they started doing qualifying, they're like thinking, what on earth have I got myself in for? And then there are people like Sandstrom who are just going, yeah, I'm just going to pick him off one by one. He's got Kenzie Newhoff just up ahead. Yeah,
Newhoff's, he's a past champion as well. It's going to be difficult. I don't think Newhoff's quite got the pace, I've got to be honest, of Sandstrom, and no disrespect, Kenzie, if you've watched it back. Well, there you go. Sandstrom does go through. Oh, Newhoff's gone round. Oh, Dennis Cornu, they made contact. Back away, back away. Oh, Gebhardt. Oh, my dearie days.
Dear. Guys, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. Oh, Cornu gets away, and Newhoff, all that hard work has just been thrown down the toilet.
Oh, I'll tell you what. That must have been a scary moment there for Maximilian Gebhardt. I know it was a back marker. De Klerk's gone into the pits, but even then, coming round the corner and just finding them cars there, that's enough to scare the living daylights out of anyone. Corner and Pieper having a battle. This is Frelick is up the road there in the bottom of your picture. You can see him now. Pieper's trying to get through. Gerbhardt's trying to move out the way again, dealing with the back markers. Hakim's cleared 31 now, so that was Dorian Araujo. So he's got Jeans Carvalho further up the road in 30th. Carvalho coming through turn 10, and Hakim has just gone round in turn 9. Joel Aguilera has now got the ever-charging Jesper Sandstrom behind him here, Alex. How difficult is it going to be for Aguilera to hold him back?
It's going to be very difficult because Sandstrom's right with him on his rear wing. So I think it's going to be a matter of time. There you go. Trigger's been pulled. Sandstrom gets through, or does he? Aguilera keeps it pinned around the outside at turn 9, but I think Sandstrom could get the crisscross here. Well, he might hang it round to the outside here at turn 10, which he is going to do. He's finding that grip. Aguilera's going to get the hammer down a little bit quickly, gets a little bit of a tank slapper. Sandstrom is now pulling alongside, and he's a front wing ahead on the run down to turn 11 here, James. It's going to be nip and tuck, but I think Sandstrom's going to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Sandstrom should have that outside line, get it wrapped up. Aguilera's not. Oh, Joe! Oh! No.
He's done a Kenzie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's going to bring Frelick into play again. And unfortunately, Joe there going round. Jesper Sandstrom, I had a confirmation he's from Sweden. So Jesper Sandstrom there, part of the Scandinavian label under iRacing, but apparently he is from Sweden. Check it on the website. And Frelick has just gone up the inside of Aguilera. Aguilera trying to run on the outside of 2, not getting it done. And job done again for Simon Frelick as he finds himself once more into the top 10.
Sandstrom at the moment is closing in on Jimenez. He was a second and a half behind him when he passed Joel Aguilera, who then had that unfortunate spin coming out of turn number 11. So Sandstrom is gunning for place number 28 gained. So that will be P7. I don't think it's without the realms of possibility that Sandstrom could. I mean, what? We're now on lap 16 out of 28, so we've got 12 to go, including this one. Could there be a possibility that Sandstrom is going to find himself in the top 5 by the checkered? That would be a hell of a run.
Well, I can tell you now, on his last time out, he did a 1:55.7. Mackenzie Roon did a 1:56.9. Sandstrom, 1.2 seconds over Mackenzie Roon. I'm on the same boat as you. You can see what Sandstrom's done to Roon there, how much he's pulled out over the last 4 laps. 1.4, 0.6, so that's 2, 2.7, 3.7, 3.8 seconds over the last 4 laps. I'm not going to say that he's not going to clear Rune, and I'm certainly not going to say he's going to clear Zamolto. Can he get Ruiz? That's going to be the question, because at the moment, Brent Ruiz, although 8 seconds up the road, 1:57.59, 2.2 seconds slower than Jesper Sandström last lap out. I'm not even going to put possibilities that the top four's out of play here for him. It's unbelievable. No, Jesper! Oh, brother! We really need to stop bigging up drivers, Alex. Not sure if Alex realised that. You are, I can't hear you currently at the moment, but Jesper Sandström's just made that mistake here, and unfortunately it's just all gone wrong for him, Alex, as well. We're bigging up top four, and he spins.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's the fate of circumstance. I don't believe in Commentator's curse. We were talking about him, about his pace, and he just goes and drops it on his own. I'm not taking the blame for that at all. Jasper's dealing with the conditions. We aren't.
I agree. I do agree with you. But look, I'm not going to say this isn't out the realms of possibility again, right? He's still got, what's he got, 11 laps, and he's got guys that are not very far up the road, although Brent Ruiz has gone from 18 to 14 seconds. But we'll keep an eye on Jesper's lap times next time out. Tony Jimenez, they're only there. They're not drastically away. Look, he's coming round 10. They're only going down through 10, from 10 down to 11. I'm not going to put it past him that it's going to be a possibility. Tony Jimenez, however, is going to have the ever-charging Luca Varani right up behind him here. Commentator's curse. Oh, mostly race cars. Yeah, it did look like that, but I think it's more commentator's coincidence, as they're quoting our good friend Mr. Zach Sweeney. Commentator's coincidence and a skill issue, he generally puts it down to.
Well, that's if you've run out of talent like Alex Wirtz did 1 year at Le Mans. And he was completely open and upfront about it on the broadcast, as Luca Varani now closes on Tony Jimenez in the XPD Racing number 11. This is the battle for 7th place. So, and there's Sandström not too far behind. So, yeah, I think you could be right that it's just dependent on about keeping things nice and clean. But of course, they've still got to deal with this visibility problem. That's the biggest issue. But when you've got clean air, like we saw Sandström having just a moment ago before he had his off, he had about 5 seconds worth of clear air where he wouldn't have had to worry about any visibility problems whatsoever.
Yeah, and he's going to have it again. He's going to have it again here, going into the final 10. I am still not going to put it past Sandström for getting where he needs to get to, and that will be in 4th, as we see Pedro Suarez coming back through the field. He's just gone and made an overtake on Tommy Mare there. He's got Patrick Pieper just up the road. There's Patrick there. Pedro Suarez making his way back through the field. How far do we think Sandström can get? In all honesty, how far do we think he can get?
I think he could probably get 5th or 6th by the checkered.
You still think?
Yeah, because you look at the gaps that are now coming down.
Oh, no!
Mackenzie Rune has just dropped it himself, and oh dearie me, same places where Sandström went off, wasn't it, I think? Yeah,
completely missed it round turn 1. Too deep, and unfortunately for Rune, that has put him down, funny enough, behind Jesper Sandström. So Rune, you're going to have a bit of a mission there, mate. I'm sorry, I love you, and you're a great talented driver, but Sandström just, I don't know, he looks like he's on a different tyre compound. He looks like he's on, I don't know, can they do wet, wet, wet or something like that? Because love is all around and Sandström's winning.
Yeah, and he's about to send it up the inside through at T1 and 2. Neatly gets past Jimenez, so that's him up to P7. And Varani is 1.7 seconds up the road, but that gap, as we've seen with multiple cars that have been in front of Sandström, James, the gap has like literally dwindled. It's just like Sandström's he's on another planet. It's like he's an alien.
Yeah. We do say that there are some in iRacing at certain points, and Jesper Sandström is showing that. That gap that we said was 14 seconds to Brent Ruiz just a lap ago is now down to 12. He has just pulled out 2 seconds again for Sandström, and he's looking just absolutely unbelievable. One man who unfortunately is looking unbelievable, but not in a good way, is Pedro Suarez. He started coming back through the field, and everybody that's made their way through the field, and that unfortunately was Tommy Mare, and who didn't have anywhere else to go bar into Pedro Suarez. So Suarez has now jumped into the pits. What is that? Is that just too much aggression and determination to make their way through the field? Because all of them have done it. Everybody that's had an incident in that first part, apart from Luca Varani, they've all done it. And Varani is showing that, I'm not going to say slow and steady tortoise pace, because he's got pace for days. He qualified up front. But he's showing that, making sure he's hitting points, isn't he? Making sure he's consistent. And Waskowski's just gone round as well. That was who we were just passing on the right-hand side there.
Yeah, I think it's also, you can be over-aggressive and over-committed with the steering. So if you throw an extra couple of degrees of steering in, that can be the difference between the car being settled and then being completely out of balance. And that's exactly what we saw with Pedro Suarez. And then, of course, got caught by a car that was not too far behind. And then Pedro Suarez ended up with a rear wing being missing off of that wagon. We've got Tommy Aru from Finland is now in pit lane and is in the box. I think that might have just been a very quick repair on that one, so he might have repaired the car to get it back up to 100%. But yeah, it is just that case that Varani, I checked a lap or two ago, he was 2.4 seconds slower than Sandström. So Sandström's found something that a lot of the drivers haven't. You can have a look at a replay here. This is turn 10.
Neuhoff.
Oh dearie me! Oh, he's just hit the curb on the inside of the right rear wheel, and it's just spun him around. So that's the biggest thing, that now that we've got this new weather system in iRacing, the drivers have got to be very, very careful of the outside curbing as well, because it's going to be slick, it's going to be wet, and even with wet tyres with those, those grooves in between them, you catch a curb incorrectly, you're going to go spinning around very, very quickly indeed.
I fully agree. There is not a truer word spoken there. As we look on the side part of Jesper Sandström, we can see the spray coming into our face from Luca Varani in front of us. Down they go now into turn 11. That gap, we're monitoring the gap, right, to Brent Ruiz. It looks like he's just had a moment, mind you. But Jesper Sandström to Brent Ruiz at the moment, it was 12 seconds 2 laps ago. It is now 8 seconds. So they are coming, and they're coming at a rate of 2 seconds per lap here.
Yeah, Sandström, Ruiz's last lap was a 56.2. Sandström's just done a high 54.0. So he's 2.2 seconds quicker. He's got the gap down to Varani to about 8.5 tenths. So no matter which way you put it, Sandström up 28 places, and look, out of Ruiz, he's taken over 5.7, nearly 6 seconds out of Ruiz over the last 3 laps.
Ruiz could be in danger. He could be in danger if he keeps losing 2 seconds a lap. And even Zamota, well, I think Zamota definitely is in danger, and I think he's in danger from Varani and Sandström. But yeah, for 2 seconds, that's massive amounts of time. It just goes to show the speed that Jesper's got. Varani sticks his nose out there. I believe that is Zoltan Zamota in front of us, but for Luca Varani, he's going to have to try and make that move. It looks like, no, that was actually a back marker, I believe, in front of Varani. Sandström's cleared the back marker as well, so they've gone past, and job done to him, and well done. And now Varani's still going after Zoltan Zamota. Yeah, 4.8 seconds. I think that was Tony Jimenez actually they cleared.
Oh crikey! So Jimenez is
He's leaking a couple of positions as well. But Sandstrom up 28. 28. Absolutely insane. Hakim is going through the traffic. He's now onto the back end of 27th place. This is Kenzie Neuhoff. We've seen Kenzie have his own moments throughout this race, and I can guarantee Kenzie Neuhoff being lapped. Oh no! What have you done again?
That's the same place he went off earlier, wasn't it?
Oh no, that's the last corner.
Well, he was backwards over the last corner last time he had a moment, did Simon Frelick. And now he's just spun it on the loud head. Coming out the final corner. Sandstrom's now right with Varani, so the gap's less than 3/10, and Jesper's having to deal with all that spray. Oh my goodness me.
That's what Luca Varani's throwing up in his face at the moment, coming off that rear wheel. Rear left as we're looking at it, real right. If you're standing behind, you can see him just spraying it over Jesper, hoping he can't get through. Jesper says, I do not care. I am going, and he's gone. He has gone again. 29. Are we going to see? We're not. Surely we can't. No. Last to first 30. No, we can't see a last to first. He's too far. No. I think he's too far. But I can tell you one thing at the moment, though. He is literally not very far behind the two. Hakim is 30 seconds from Hakim to Sandstrom. Sandstrom 153 last time out. Hakim on a 155. That's 2 seconds. That's not enough. But we can get optimistic about the fact he could get to Brent Ruiz. That's probably where we're targeting, aren't we?
Yeah, well, he was nearly a second and a half quicker last time around than Zoltan Zomoto in 5th place, and that gap is coming down very, very rapidly indeed. It's like less than 2.5 seconds. 155.0 from Ruiz. Zomoto 155.7. Sandstrom 153.1. That is absolutely mad what I've just seen there. That is 2.6 seconds quicker. I think Zomoto is going to find himself between a rock and a hard place as Mackenzie Roon goes up the inside of Tony Jimenez, who locks up under braking and drifts wide. So Mackenzie Roon's somewhat on the comeback trail, so to speak, but not on the likes of Jesper Sandstrom, who's up into 6th place. That's 29 positions gained. And look at the time between Zomoto and Sandstrom. Sandstrom is now 1.8 seconds behind Zomoto in the 747, who is rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, we can see Jimenez not giving up with Runo, mind you. He's got his teammate of Aguilera behind him. I'm sure these won't be battling as hard. We've got Declerc coming through, back through the field as well after he had his moment. And that is Marcello Kessler there. We've got to say it, our resident Italian tablecloth has Marcello changed his delivery, him and Maximilian, this season. So now he's got a pizzeria all over his car. But I can tell you one thing, Sandstrom 1.7. Now, oh no, it's down even further. 1.3. There is Zomoto, there is Varani, and there is Jesper. There just doesn't seem to be enough superlatives to explain what Jesper's done. He's come back through the field. He's made a mistake. He's dropped down the order. He's come back through the field again. It's just insane what he's managed to do. We've got everybody. Hakim has just lapped everybody into 24th, so he's just gone past Neuhoff. He's now chasing down 23rd, which is Oscar Artinanu. Jesper Sandstrom. There he is, son. Go get him, because Zoltan Zomoto is right in front of him at the moment.
I was 1.5 seconds quicker on that last lap. I think the only thing that I can say about this is that when, not if, Jesper Sandstrom gets through on Zoltan Zomoto, it will be the biggest Cinderella story of a comeback that we've had this season. He's right in the wheel tracks, and Zomoto is not as confident as Sandstrom. This is absolutely brilliant what we're seeing from the Super Swede. He's right in the wheel tracks, he's right with him. Now, where will Sandstrom go? He's going to pitch it to the left-hand side. Is he going to look for the outside line? I think he might do. He might get the crisscross. He might
job
slow, and Sandstrom's through.
Job done. You saw it there. Zomoto got a little bit squirrely, unfortunately, coming out from under the bridge from turn 5, and Sandstrom just said, well, if you're going to do that, son, I'm having that away. And now it's all about the 4.2. Basing it on the fact that he's got nearly 2 seconds a lap. He only got half a second on that last time.
Aguilera has just gone off.
Well, he's off. He's a long way off for Joel Aguilera. He comes out in front of the 313. That's his Jeans Carvalho in the XPD Racing 2 car. What actually happened to Aguilera? Oh, he's not stopping. Whoa! Big old snap, big old overcorrection, and unfortunately for Aguilera, off he goes. Sandstrom now has got 3 seconds to Brent Ruiz. This kid is insane. Absolutely insane.
I know. I'm just going to keep an eye on his lap times now, James, and I'll keep you updated on that front because Ruiz was half a second quicker than Sandstrom. 155.5, 154.2, 1.3 seconds taken out on that last lap alone by Sandstrom on Ruiz. So I think there is still an opportunity. We've got 4 more laps to go, including this one. I think Sandstrom's got a very, very good chance of getting that done because there's Ruiz just going through shot.
Yeah, definitely on that one. I want to have a look and see how does this compare. Sandstrom and Will McIntyre Jones, 1.7. Oh, I don't think it's 4 laps, 2 seconds. No, I don't think it's enough.
No, Ruiz is an easy target. McIntyre Jones is a completely different kettle of fish altogether there, mate.
I think he's just a little bit too far back. Varani now tackling Zoltan Zamora. He's come back through the field with Jesper. Jesper made a mistake, left Varani to defend for himself. Varani then went and started making moves back through. Jesper Sandstrom's now come up behind him again and overtaken him. And now it's all about Varani into 9. Hugged the inside. He does hug the inside. Didn't get the overtake that time. Now we're on the run to 10. Varani's going to try the inside again. He moves out, tries to get sight, spots his braking point and gets on his bike again. Now Varani's got to sit in, and surely this has got to be done down into 11 here because Varani is losing pace to Sandstrom at an absolute rate of knots. Sandstrom is gone and he's absolutely killed it, and he's only 1.2 seconds back from Brent Ruiz. This is all the while for Luca Varani, all the while being held up behind Zoltan Zamora. He just cannot clear him at the moment. He can't get the pace. He cannot get the run out. Is he going to be able to get it out in the last corner here, Alex? But at the moment, Varani's struggling.
Yeah, I mean, with rain still falling, there's still, the track is not going to evolve to the point where Varani's going to pick up the pace significantly, but Zamora, we did see when he was battling away with Sandstrom, had a bit of a tank slapper coming out of turn number 11. So it's only a case of when, not if, Varani manages to get through. But here is Sandstrom, half a second behind Ruiz. It's game on for P4. Varani's looking through on the inside now.
Got it done.
Turn number 3, and he's got the job done.
Yeah, he did get it done in the end. No! Oh, he's just gone and got the job done, and now he's lost the job. Split moment. There you go. Sandstrom's gone for Ruiz. Another one.
That is 31 places gained. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Do you know what? If he hadn't had that spin, he would have got McIntyre Jones.
Yeah, well, you never know because he had 2 dramas, didn't he? He had 2 dramas in this race. Had both of them not happened, I think there might have been the fact he might have been very, very close to catching and passing possibly Lee Aberdeen for second. That would have been something completely unbelievable, even though we're seeing it unfold before our very own eyes here, James.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I want to pick up because John McKenzie is he's up 6 places. He's just come out in the middle of nowhere. I haven't seen him. I've just seen all of a sudden the Scottish flag start moving his way up through the table. Mackenzie has got Andy Flint for company at the moment as they're on the run out of 6 into 7. We'll keep an eye on the Sandstrom McIntyre Jones just in case it starts getting there. But we are on lap 27. He's only got 1 and 1 more. But I just want to see what Flint can do here over the Scotsman. Don't forget, Scots are tough. They're William Wallace blood here. So Mackenzie's got that flowing through his veins at the moment. Varani's still got some motto, and it's not any closer. Flint, oh, I thought he was going for it there, but that should be Flint getting through. I would have thought down into turn 11. Go on to the roll bar now. You can see in front of us is Mackenzie. The time's coming down. 2 tenths, 1 tenth, 1.5, 1. Now we're below 1. This should be Andy Flint's move if he can get this done. He does get it done over John Mackenzie. So, oh, gee whiz, Batman.
Yeah, unfortunately, Robin decided to hit the loud pedal a little bit too early there. Well done, Mr. Andy Flint. Had the move completed, and it's that turn 11. One of multiple points on this circuit where people have just been very, very aggressive on the throttle. But Luca Varani again trying to get through on Zoltan Zomotor for that P6. We are running out of laps here. So can Luca sort of help himself a little bit here just by getting through on the 747? But Zomotor is not making it easy. He's keeping it planted on the racing line. It is Zomotor, to be honest with you.
There is a 747, like a Boeing at the moment, is parking that across the racetrack. Varani just cannot find a way through. When he did find a way through, Varani then made that mistake. Brent Ruiz is not too far down the road, and it's the final lap for Hakeem, but it isn't yet, and that in the top part of your shot is Will McIntyre-Jones. And I kid you not, that is McIntyre-Jones shooting the spray off. There he is in his Technicolor livery. There's Jesper Sandström. One more lap on the clock. Surely he can't. 2 seconds, the fastest lap. 1:52.6.
I cannot believe we can't believe what we're witnessing here. I mean, Will McIntyre-Jones had the best spot of over 2.2 seconds, knocked nearly... When you look, McIntyre-Jones... Look at the gaps that Sandström has been literally chopping away with.
Oh, I thought that was McIntyre-Jones. It's not. It's Kenzie Newhoff. No. Sorry, I got excited. Never mind.
Yeah, but, I mean, to get that gap to within, what, 2.8 seconds? You look, lap 26, 3.6 seconds was the difference. Lap 25. I mean, like, on 2 laps alone, the gap was reduced by 7.3. 7.3 seconds. Sandström has just been on a complete different level all the way through this race, despite the fact that Rehan Hakim is about 30% of the way from getting the checkered flag. Sandström's had the drive of the night, and so far the drive of the season. Yeah,
absolutely. There isn't words, and that gap is 2 seconds. Right, he needs another 3.6 second gap, because that was what it was coming in. It's now 1.9. Surely he cannot snatch a podium, and if he does, it is going to be around the final section here. There's McIntyre-Jones, there is Jesper Sandström. Hold on to your hats. It's 1.7, 1.6, 1.5, 1.5. It's just leaking. It's looking like a tap has just been fixed by a dodgy plumber. McIntyre-Jones is coming now. Is he going to be able to get in 1.1, 1.2? I think he's going to run out of time. He is. Hakim took the victory. Sorry, Raheem. I just wanted to see. Well done to you for taking the victory. Lee Aberdeen got second. McIntyre-Jones 0.7 and a 1:51.968. Oh my God! Check that man's tyres.
I am speechless at the moment, Mr. Parfitt. Absolutely speechless.
Oh. Wow. Just flat out wow. Drive of all seasons ever. I do not care what anybody says, but for a man to gain 31 places and have 2 moments, Andy Flint is trying to do John Mackenzie again. He got through over the last time. Well done, Andy. Can you hold into that as well? He does. He makes the left. Is he going to make the right without any problems? He does make the right without any problems. Andy Flint, great drive from you there. And let's pick up on what Chris Trotton again and Matella Kessler are doing. They're on their run down as well through turn 12 and turn 13. Kessler's holding on. Trott can see him, but I don't think he's going to have enough to get him. Is he going to have enough? Surely he's not. No, I don't think he is this time around. And I don't care. That was just... Jesper Sandström has just taught the guys at IGP how to drive in the rain. That was an education. Even though he didn't win, Alex, that was still... He just took them to school.
Took them to school, college and university in one fell swoop in the same bleeding race. I doff my cap to Jesper Sandström from 35th to 4th and was just under 8 tenths away from getting P3. I am, as I said, I am still lost for words, but we still have to shout out Rehan Hakim, who won by 12.3 seconds ahead of Lee Aberdeen with Wool. Technicolor, Dreamcoat, McIntyre, Jones completing the top 3. Jesper Sandström, Brent Ruiz rounding out the top 5. Luca Varani saying, I lost my bass shaker, lap 1, turn 4, and then again a few laps from the end. Such a disappointment, but at least I had some fun passes. Well, that's the spirit, Luca. That's what we want to hear. Zamotta, Rune, Jimenez, and Frelick rounding out the top 10. But yeah, this is a race I'm not going to forget for quite a while, buddy.
No, I will say, Luca, although you made the mistake, right, you were the only man to come back through the field who didn't make another mistake. Frelick made the mistake. Rune made a mistake. Sandström made a mistake. Suarez made a big mistake. So everybody that was trying to come back through the field, you were the only one that didn't make a second mistake. So props to you there as well. Frelick rounds out the top 10, as Alex has said already. We've got Dennis Conner in 11th, Joe Aguilera down in 12th, Tommy Murray down in 13th. Andy Flint got the pass done on John McKenzie at the second time around. He takes 14th, McKenzie 15th, Pieper down in 16th after being in the top 10. Shame on that one. Marcello Kessler in 17th, Chris Trott 18th, Eddie Amos 19th. De Klerk again battled his way back to 20th. Erwin Sulmekens in 21st. Don Lee in 22nd, Oscar Artinano in 23rd, Leonard Cherry and Kenzie Neuhoff down in 25th. Past champion made multiple mistakes, unfortunately, for Kenzie Neuhoff. Richard Veen in 26th, Marcius Putniks 27th, Adam Townsend 28th, Jean Carvalho in 29th, Maximilian Gabart in 30th, and Dorian Orujo in 31st. Then we're getting into the non-finishers. Pedro Suarez, Andrei Rukowski was in 33rd, and then behind that, Stu Milne was the last non-runner. Koji Ito didn't make the start, and Evan Wade didn't make the start. I think we've both just probably witnessed one of the best drives we've ever witnessed in the rain on iRacing. It was incredible.
Yeah, Luca actually goes into the chat and saying Jesper's driving without fear of crashing. He's not in the standings. It does make a difference. You're damn right it does. But yes, it doesn't matter how you sugarcoat it, Luca. Jesper, 100%, I think, in all the iGPFun races that we've had here on JPB, that is one that should be in iRacing's top 10 big time for this week, because that was just it was unbelievable. Every single time he made an overtake, he was knocking lumps out of people's differentials between them, and still to be within 8 tenths of the podium at the end of a 28-lap race round here. And it's not an easy track, especially in the wet here at Twin Ring Motegi. No. Sandström, as you said, gave everyone an education tonight.
Full on there as well. Alias, I cannot answer that question, unfortunately. It depends what we pull off from the driver's app. So unless Hakim's filled out the driver's app that comes with it for us to be able to pull the information from, it does unfortunately show him up as a privateer on that one. But reach out to me on Discord, Alias. We'll have a chat about your pit lane rover reporting Ted Kravitz for the IGP position, and we can have a chat about that one as well. Doodly doodler, great job, guys. Thank you so much for that one. But I think I need to go and have a lay down after that. That was just absolutely unbelievable. Don't forget, later on as well, we've got more Super Formula Lights action coming up from the Americas with the SR4S. They're on the same circuit, but check us out again as we go live round about 1:45 in the evening. So if you are a bit of a night owl, come and have a look and you can see what the SR4S are going to be able to do at Twin Ring. But for now, guys, that's going to wrap it up from us up here in the JPB booth. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Alex Goldschmidt. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.